At the height of his fame, Armie Hammer was Hollywood royalty, a handsome, charismatic leading man poised to take over the big screen. But in early 2021, everything changed. Allegations surfaced that were so bizarre, so disturbing, they didn't just ruin his career, they turned him into a global punchline. Private messages leaked, accusing the star of having violent fantasies and even cannibalistic desires. Within weeks, Armie went from A-list star to a man hiding in the shadows, working ordinary jobs just to survive. Now, after years of silence, he's finally speaking out, revealing dark truths about his past, the scandal that destroyed him, and whether he'll ever return to Hollywood. This is the rise and fall of Armie Hammer, and the shocking confession that could change everything. Armie Hammer wasn't just another actor. He came from serious money and legacy. His great-grandfather, Armand Hammer, was an oil tycoon with deep political connections. From a young age, Armie seemed destined for greatness. He got his big break in 2010, playing the Winklevoss twins in The Social Network. The performance turned heads, 2 characters, 1 actor, and seamless special effects. Hollywood took notice. By 2017, he had his most critically acclaimed role yet, Call Me By Your Name. The film earned Oscar nominations and made him a household name. He was handsome, talented, married to TV personality Elizabeth Chambers, and the father of 2 children. On the surface, his life seemed perfect. But behind the curtain, a storm was brewing. And soon, the world would see a side of Armie Hammer no one could have imagined. It started quietly, with a few whispers on social media. In early 2021, private messages allegedly sent by Armie Hammer began leaking online. These weren't ordinary DMs. The messages contained graphic fantasies about control, domination, and violence, with some of them even mentioning cannibalism. The internet exploded. Memes flooded Twitter and TikTok. Some people thought it was fake, a bizarre hoax. Others were horrified. At first, Armie's fans defended him. But as more and more messages came out, the scandal snowballed. And what began as online gossip quickly transformed into a global media frenzy. The situation escalated when multiple women came forward with serious accusations. One woman, known only as Effie, publicly accused Armie of rape and physical abuse. Others described relationships marked by manipulation, emotional control, and coercion. For the first time, this wasn't just a tabloid story, it was a potential criminal case. The Los Angeles Police Department launched a formal investigation. Armie denied all allegations, saying that all encounters were consensual, though he admitted to infidelity and being a terrible husband. Months passed as the investigation played out. Eventually, prosecutors announced they would not file charges, citing insufficient evidence. But by then, the damage was done. Even without a conviction, Armie's reputation was shattered beyond repair. Hollywood moved fast. Within days of the scandal breaking, studios and brands began cutting ties. Armie was dropped from his starring role in Shotgun Wedding, a romantic comedy with Jennifer Lopez. He was removed from projects like The Offer and $1 Billion Spy. His talent agency and publicist abandoned him. Overnight, he went from being one of the most in-demand actors in Hollywood to a man no one wanted to work with. Online, the backlash was relentless. Memes about Cannibal Armie spread like wildfire. Talk show hosts cracked jokes at his expense. He became a cultural punchline. And perhaps most painfully, his private life crumbled. Elizabeth Chambers filed for divorce. Their marriage was over. With no work, no marriage, and no public support, Armie disappeared from Hollywood. For months, paparazzi speculated about his whereabouts. Then came the shocking revelation: Armie Hammer was working in the Cayman Islands, selling timeshares. The once celebrated actor was literally going door to door, pitching vacation rentals to make ends meet. Later, Armie revealed he wasn't living off family wealth, as many assumed. "I have no family money. I was completely cut off." Eventually, he returned to Los Angeles, not to a mansion, but to a tiny apartment, living a modest, quiet life. It seemed like his Hollywood chapter was permanently closed. But then, he decided to speak. In January 2025, Armie Hammer finally broke his silence. On the Your Mom's House podcast, he told his side of the story, unfiltered, raw, and deeply personal. For the first time, Armie explained what really happened during the scandal. He admitted to having unusual sexual fantasies but insisted they were consensual roleplay, never acted upon in real life. He described how the internet twisted his private conversations into a monstrous caricature of who he was. People took sound bites and memes and turned me into a monster I didn't even recognize. But the most shocking revelation came when he opened up about his childhood trauma. Armie revealed that he was sexually abused by a pastor when he was a young boy, and experienced that, he says, deeply affected his adult relationships. It messed me up in ways I didn't understand for years. Sometimes, I think deep down, I wanted to get caught. His voice cracked as he spoke, a mix of anger and pain. For the first time, the public saw the man behind the headlines. Despite everything, Armie isn't ready to give up. He recently announced that he's been quietly working again, filming a new project titled Frontier Crucible alongside Oscar winner William H. Macy. "I'm not saying I'm back, but I'm working." Armie also reflected on fatherhood and the moment his children will one day learn about the scandal. "Someday, they'll read everything about me. My only hope is that they'll know the truth from me first." It's a fragile, uncertain comeback, one step at a time. The story of Armie Hammer is a cautionary tale for the digital age. A man at the top of his game, brought down by a mix of private mistakes, public perception, and the wildfire power of the internet. But it also raises deeper questions. When someone falls this far, is there any way back? Can audiences separate the art from the artist, or will Armie Hammer forever be remembered for the scandal that consumed his life? What do you think? Does Armie Hammer deserve a second chance, or has Hollywood already decided his fate?